We all have choices. The kitchen director has a lot of responsibilities. It's the role where you're essentially responsible for making sure that everything runs. One of the cool parts of that is that I get some control over what we serve as food. But honestly, the majority of the job is just managerial, making sure that all of my employees are happy and they have what they need and that they're doing things with the right vision and intention for the restaurant. Every day is a little bit different. I have certain routines, but there's always something breaking and going wrong in the kitchen, so it's always an adventure. I had always loved food. Food has always been extremely important to me. I grew up in a classic Wisconsin family where the way that you show that you love somebody is by feeding them. And so that has always been ingrained in me. I also love that food can be anything you want. It is artistic, it's creative, it's scientific, it's cultural, it's also just functional. We just need to eat every day. It's one of the things that people have the deepest memories and the deepest feelings about.
Lunches, we have a lot of business people, or like a lot of times when there's conferences going on in town, it's a lot of people visiting from out of town coming in for that. And then it seems like late night or dinners and stuff, there seems to be a pretty large amount of locals that like live around the capital that come in pretty frequently. There's a couple people especially that sit at the bar that you start to just become on a more first name basis, and then you start to learn about their families or like what they do or what they don't do or what they've been doing since retirement, or the regulars are all across the board from younger and like trying to start their own businesses to they've been here for their whole lives and they're gonna die here and they're gonna be here forever, and like it's fun to learn those different aspects though.
Throughout the shift, I'm checking the lighting, the temperature, checking in with staff members to make sure everything's going smoothly. If there's any kind of like conflicts or issues going on with guest service or interactions, I try to step in and help kind of diffuse any situations or make things right if we make a mistake. Stuff like that, basically just assisting the staff in whatever they need to make sure that they get through their shift successfully.
We do a really good job here at Settle Down of like making sure like you know when you come in you're a guest here, you're not a customer, and like we want you here, we want you hanging out, and we're stoked to serve you, which is something that I think is profound in this industry that is important to keep in the background.
Our vision for the food here at Settle Down is trying to be a modern version of a classic Wisconsin tavern. So we want it to be very comforting and homey, but at the same time still being a little bit more upscale. I like to describe it as what your grandma might cook as long as she was culinarily inclined. And especially places that are known as taverns or as a burger joint usually wouldn't be preparing most of the things that we serve from scratch. But that's a really big priority for us, is to make as many things from scratch as possible. Which means that we need to be really flexible with our time, and we need to be able to be cutting onions in the back and then hear the ticket printer and run over and grab it.
Let's go slice. I'm Ellis. I'm a line cook, but that also comes with like prepping. So we cook food for the customers and we also have to prep. That's about it.
How would you describe this restaurant?
It's a good place to come just to shoot the shit with your friends, get some good greasy food or get some healthy food. So look at the beautiful line cooks like Eric. Yeah.
During a busy service, we have one person working cold side, doing all the cold side dishes, and then also helping with plating and making sure the ticket is complete. Someone on grill making the burgers, and then somebody on fryer making our fries and cheese puppies and all of our fried items.
We put some fries, there's a bag of fries, and then you put the fries from the bag in the basket. The basket goes in the oil, and the oil cooks the fries. And then once they're cooked, we put them in the basket.
He's gonna salt them, get some sauce, he's gonna put it in a ramekin, then he's gonna throw it up there, some person's gonna eat it. That's the life of the fries.
Yeah, like sure.
Well, I got you some dude, my head's never.
Here, it's great. I love all these line cooks. Every single person I come into work with, I can have a genuine conversation with, and they can like say hello and good to see you, and they actually mean it. And it's very different than most of the places I've worked at.
Our signature item is our smash burger, the Good Idea, and that's been with us since the very beginning.
Good ingredients, really tasty, hits the spot. Couldn't really ask for a better burger.
Smash it. You do these like circular motions to get the patty really kind of smooth. Like you give it a second, and then you scrape it off the grill. And then you get some caramelized onions. Put it on the patty. Get some cheese, Monterey Jack. And then you put it on the burger. You get your squirt bottle that has water in it. And then you make it all melty. And you got a burger.
What do you guys got? Alright, we got some. Alright, we got some burgers, bro. When a bunch of tickets start coming in and you know you're behind and stuff, there's no way you can really prepare for that other than, I guess, the experience that you've been through it before and just you know that it'll be over at some point.
The biggest thing that's important as a line cook is just to keep your cool and not panic. But at the same point in time, that is when it's most crucial to start communicating. A huge part of that is just being efficient as well, knowing how to do multiple things at once and being able to think forward, knowing that you've got a devil bird that's going to come up in 5 tickets and you've got 30 seconds right now, so you're going to make that devil bird now. After you've worked in the kitchen for enough time, the sound of the ticket printer will be ingrained in your memory and it will never leave you.
Saturday nights, there's like 2 or 3 turnovers where you get busy, clears out. You get busy, it clears out.
You want everyone else to feel good. You sort of just do go into a robot memory, like muscle memory mode where you're not really thinking, you're just processing what's on the ticket like a computer, just like scraping the data, understanding this is the parts I need to do, doing them.
Just like tunnel vision. Everything around you gets black and you're just like, I've got to do these things and I've got to get it done.
Oh shit, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. But then you do. You always do. You always manage to do something. And the feeling of accomplishment you get from that is kind of incomparable.
You gotta ring that bell.
What just happened? Like, I think it all went fine. I don't really know. It went regardless. Like, it either went fine or it didn't, but we're at the end of it now and like I can breathe. It's fun though. I think it's fun.
I think as a team, just realize we're all together in the shit, and that we'll get out of it in an hour or 2 or 3 hours or 4 hours or 5 hours. So, yeah.
6 hours.
You got a burger, bro.
So first you put the pancakes on the grill, and then you put the hash browns in the fryer, and then you put it all together. Whatever.
It's like funny to think about bartending or serving being this like adrenaline rush or like this adrenaline giving thing, but when you get like 4 or 5 tables at one time, or you have a full bar of people and all your servers are ringing in tickets, and like you just keep heating the printer, hitting like printing, or you're like trying to deal with a 12 top and every 4 top you have is stopping you on the way to grab their drinks or something. It's just like you gotta like have a poker face to just like inside you're like, oh my god, like I want to crawl into the fetal position right now, but you're in front of everybody and like you're like the orchestrator of this experience they're having, and you've got to like learn how to keep your cool and just not look pissed off all the time. And I would say, especially at Settle Down, our kitchen is freaking stellar. Like, very mild tempered, very well at receiving any questions or any feedback.
There's a saying like all things, what is it, like all, 1 second. What the fuck is the saying? There's a saying that goes like, nothing's personal in service. I think that a lot of times when you have negative customers or you have a negative interaction with a coworker or a boss or something like that, I think that a lot of times we take it to heart and take it home with us because this is such a personal job. And I think being able to differentiate between what is about you personally and what is maybe a projection about something else or your work performance, because those two things are very different. Who you are outside of work and who you are at work are two very different things.
Really important key in a successful restaurant, I think, from a line cook's perspective, is strong teammates, people you can depend on, people you know that are going to show up for you and have your back.
I really trust everyone that I work with, and at the moment it's mainly younger guys, so they honestly feel like my sons. I do feel like their mother most days, but at the same point in time, I do really trust them to carry out what they need to do. I also might make myself cry, but I'm very, very proud to see the guys who have been with us for a long time, who have grown so much since they started. They're all very funny, and they're honestly just good people, and it makes every day fun, even if there is chaos going on.
Describe Settle Down in 3 words. I'd probably say quirky, lively, and cheerful.
Y me alejé de tu camino, y estando lejos he podido comprobar que no hay sentido, y quiero regresar contigo y regresar a mi diseño original.